Right, welcome back to episode 41 of my Factorio monthly community map let's play. Yeah, so my idea with this is we don't really want that many, 500 of these belts. We want these 500 here. If there are other belts floating around the place, we don't want them. So what I'm about to do here, I want 500 the auto trashed, and do all the belts, why not? Blue, underground. When I'm picking stuff out, I don't want to be sitting there with loads in my inventory. If I'm inside the network for this area anyway. My quests, 100, 100, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. So it's only that I've got more, because we use that quickly. Especially running down the road, down a line, which means we'll probably want to up that at some point. Yeah. Okay. So now there are 853 transport belts in the network. So we don't want any more being made, even if there was only 400 in here. Right. So now there's still more than 500 in the network. So you only going to work if that is less than 500. Now the other thing is we want to get any that are out in the wild back here be converted into this. Let's just turn this on quickly so it won't run. So we've got to request it, but we don't want it to request it if there is, well, we don't want it going from this chest into this machine if there's only ones here. Otherwise robots will be sitting there taking them from here to put them in here to put them in the machine, and they can just do that there. It's a pointless job for the robots. So we'll request a stack. That will come out of storage first before passive providers, because that's the order it works. I've got one of each. I don't have an active. Build an active. That one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it works, well, right to left. That way. So obviously nothing will come out of a requested chest, and the content of the requested chest is not classed as being in the network anymore. And the first thing they'll do, there's a kind of a bit of a feedback loop here. Well, let's talk about that in a second. First thing they'll do is you've got to provide a chest. They don't want to put items. They don't want items in there. So if the requester is requesting it, they'll take them straight from there into there. We can do this. We can just put something in the network which shouldn't be in the network. Circuits. There's no circuits in the network. So you're going to request. What's the point? Right. Whatever. They started filling it up with iron. Oh, of course they have. Let's stop that. Yeah. So stuff's in this. They don't want it to be in this. They want to store it somewhere. So the first thing they'll do is they'll put it into a requester that's requesting it, assuming it needs more. After that, they'll look in passive providers. No, they won't. That's backwards. Oh, of course. Oh, come on, robots. Right, that goes there. And that goes there. Then they'll look in storage. If there's some in storage, I'll take that. And then if there's none in storage, I'll take it from passive providers. So passive providers are like, you use it where it's made. So you don't want stuff, if you've got thousands in storage, you don't want to use the stuff that's just been made. You want to use the ones in storage, so they'll get it from storage. And this works for the player as well, so you're exactly the same as a requested chest. We'll go in that order. But then there's also a bit of a feedback loop in that if this has got items in, they want to put it into storage to empty this chest. But if there's no requester requesting that item, they'll put it in storage. Anyway, right. Go away. So, for this, so there's 100 in here. 102 actually, because the robots bought too many. But that's fine. Something to bear in mind though, robots will bring 3. Well, I've got the research set to 3. Bonuses, where's bonuses? Yeah. Robot carry capacity, there you go, cargo plus 2, so they can carry 3. Now of course 3 doesn't go into 100. So they bought 99 and then another robot bought 3 more for the rest of it. And then that put 102. Anyway. So they actually brought it out of this chest as well. If there is more than 500 in the network, in this network, then that means there are ones in the big open world network, the storage chests, and not just the ones in here. In fact, we could wire that manually. No, because this one won't put any in there. This could be empty, there could be thousands in storage. So, yeah. And vice versa, if we delete a load of stuff. Although that kind of would work if it was set to work if there was less than 500 in this chest. That could work. But we won't do that. We want this one to work if there is more than 500 in the network. Because that means that these are not being used. And then we also want this one connected. Because we don't want this one to run if this one's running. I mean, it doesn't matter, it wouldn't really cause a problem, but if I grab those, the number of these in the network should slowly go down. Yeah, I'll put them back because I don't want them. I think that should work. You will be requesting those. But you should be 50, not 500. What? Oh, and you should be with the right item as well. Probably help. Those. I think that's gonna work. Or maybe. Who knows? Who really cares? If it fails miserably, it fails miserably. You request those. Oh yeah, we change this. Right, what? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's less than 50, so because they're putting it in the other chest. Unfortunately, they're picking them all up from there. Let's go in. Yeah, that should work. I think that should work. We'll call that good anyway. So we need to find out where they've put all this ore. But probably more important than that, we need to actually find a place for them to put the ore. So, what do we run out of? Iron, or not iron, steel. Which we are, for some reason, side loading. That's a mistake on my part, that. all of the chests. Okay, don't make that many chests. And then we'll grab the circuits from here. I can't grab circuits, can I? Nice. Make me some circuits. Alright. Okay. Trying to get rid of the stuff in my inventory, not increase the amount of stuff in my inventory. Just don't have any more inventory room. No. Oh, I should have done it while I was out of range. This I don't like. But we can fix it. Because, yeah, the trains are all gone. All the stuff here is gone, so. We'll get rid of this. And why not? Let's put a signal on. Maybe not there. Maybe like here. There we go. We can do that like everyone. Why not? That could be the system. Ah, yes, this is the problem. These chests are now full. Completely. And the train can't unload because of it. Less than ideal. We'll just bring that down here as well. And that's a lot of storage. I'm sure it'll run out pretty quickly because I've got nothing telling these trains not to run if we don't need iron. I suppose what I could do eventually is have a couple more stations here. Once this is gone, run them into a, like we have oil stations here as well, run them into like a holding area for all the trains. So all the iron trains would go in one place, all the, well, the iron trains. Any old trains. Other than they wouldn't, I don't know, trying to think how to direct these properly. Oh, there's apparently some way you can turn stations off. Let's try having a look at that. Probably going to need a constant combinator to try it. Let's use some red wire since we have lots of it. Enable disable. Alright, that's actually both really simple and when a train station is stopped, a signal is sent with a unique number for that train. Output on a letter. Oh, that's nice. Retrain contents. Yeah, I think that was there before. Let's enable disable. That's interesting. We'll have to have a look at that. Let's pick that up. It's smarter. Yeah. Oh, has it gone back? Oh, they both gone back to iron. Yeah, this one's just gone all the way back there and come back again. City train. Okay. How can I use that? I don't really want to have to run wire all the way everywhere if I can avoid it. And the problem is I'd need to disable the stations at the other end, not this end. What I've done in the past is I had like an iron train and a copper train, and the iron train would have a station and the copper train had a station, but they wouldn't actually go to iron and copper mines. They would just go to like generic mines. They'd mine loads of like, okay, what's a good example? Go on, it's gonna be one. It's like here, right? I'd have a station here, right? Mining this, all this copper, right? And it'd be called copper, whatever. But then I'd also mine this iron and this stone, if I needed stone, or some coal, or some uranium. Oh, not uranium. This is 0.14. And that train would then be a copper train that would come here, because this outpost would mostly deal with copper. And then if we needed copper, it would be allowed to go on its route. What? Oh dear. Oh, that's on the... No, that's on the right station. What are you on about? No route? Okay, that's a problem. But yeah, the station would control it. So I'd read what's in the logistics network, put that into the station, and say if we had less than 1 million iron ore, the iron train would be allowed to go. But that's not going to work like this. Actually, no, because they would go. Because we've had the holding platforms, the holding stations. I could either do it so I have two, like an iron drop-off stations and copper drop-off stations, and I disable those based on this, and the trains will then just sit out at the depots. But I don't really want all those trains. Don't want a huge number of trains running all the time. So the other option is I could have a holding system where they could be refueled. Be useful, rather than doing it in here, which is not really a problem, but yeah, have like a holding area and then disable those holding areas. Well, not disable them, but have a circuit signal to allow the train to leave. Well, it's not going to be a problem immediately. We've got 1.4 and 4.1. So we've got 5.5 million iron ore, which actually will not go in it. It would take a lot of chests to store. So like 2.5, we've got 5 million coming in, so what's it going to be? Like 2,000 chests? More than 2,000 chests? Although to be honest, we'll probably use up the extra to make the chests. Yeah, let's go have a look. Well, first off, let's request storage chests. I did deconstruct them. Oh, these are out. That's good. We can start. Oh yeah. Maybe you're going the wrong way. Yeah. Why don't you work? Why don't you fit? Do you fit? I'm having so much trouble. You know what? I'm going to strip this whole thing. It's going to be easier. So I can replace it with blue belt. Same with this one. These two are full. This one isn't. This one can go. Because putting the modules in is relatively easy. There we go, and see if we've got enough modules. Then we can update the blueprint, and then we won't have to worry about it, because the robots will do it when there's modules available. So what we can do is we'll have a look, see why. It's because there's no circuits being used. Interesting. No. Because there's no iron use. Belt iron isn't being used for anything. Okay, that makes sense. So we should start a research next year of that. It's mostly iron heavy anyway. Well, it's not very circuits heavy, I think is the important point. It's quite a little bit of copper needed for that, for the military science, for the turrets. And the ammo, I suppose. So is this just stopped? Yes, this is just stopped. Why is this just stopped? Oh no, this is right. Yeah, that should be allowed while this produces. So we do need more. This can support more of this. Okay. have been a mistake. I didn't put any lights in this. Oh my. Ah, how could I? Okay. I actually quite like this. I'm going to save it. Right click. This is 4 belt. Oh, I should put belts in it as well, I suppose. Yeah, whatever. Clear it. Useful for the fact that I need to put belts in as well. We'll do it on... Both of them are annoying. They don't quite have all the stuff I need. There we go. And then we don't need that or that. We'll put it down on this. And then we'll place it again with one with all the belts that I need. Okay. Cock that up. There we go. That's better. 4 belts. Processor. Yeah. Tick. Probably won't understand it when it comes to me wanting to use it, but yeah. Don't need those ones. There we go. Alright, I'll do it myself. You lazy robots. There we go. And that's doubling our processor production. But I put one more, that would actually equal how much this is being used at. Go on. I mean, I literally don't have the resources to support this production, but go big or go home, I guess. I mean, seriously, who's allowed the robots for the the place to do this? They're useless. Too slow. There we go. Throw some inserters in. There you go. You want production? You've got production. You probably want resources, and you can't have those. But yeah, we'll call it good. That means actually there should be. Where that came from? There should be a number of these. 14. Wow. I'm glad. I'm glad those were made. It's better than nothing. It's enough for the whole of this. But that's not the problem. The problem with this now is insufficient processor production. Where do we make speed modules? Speed module 1s for science. Here. Is there anywhere else? So basically we need speed modules for the tier 3 assemblers. And that would be nice because they have more module slots and they're just faster in general anyway. I don't know. Why don't we see about all these places they've been storing things they shouldn't be storing. Did they bring me? They did bring me Or maybe they did, I'm not sure. I made 12, so we'll see. No, they didn't bring me any. Which presumably means they haven't... Means they... I mean, they must have put them somewhere. This one's got some. There isn't another one. Let's just make our way along and have a look. See, this is what happens. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to close off these chests. Run away. Another one. Okay, I think this is kind of pointless. Because they're just going to fill them up. What we'll do is we'll leave it for now. And we'll eventually drag a load of logistics robots down this way. Oh, no, they've got space, right? No, what? No, they don't have space. Okay. Crap. Hey, how about you... No, let's grab the other one. How about you... When you're sort of getting close, you just don't come in. Just stay there. You'll be happy. And we'll see about using up some of this iron, because that's probably the problem. I just haven't used up the iron ore that's coming in. Basically turn the whole factory off. This one's done. Let's have a look. We didn't have the modules, did we? So we're just going to build it as is. 1, 2, 3. What? Yeah, we'll replace this blue belt with yellow. I'm sure that'll work fine. Oh, this line can go down the side here. This will no longer be required. There's nothing left. Ooh, there might be. Oh, there won't be because these aren't actually running. So all that can go. This bit can go. I have an idea. I should get rid of some of it. We can build another one in the middle here. I'm tempted later on to just pick them all up again. Pick them all up, put them down with modules in. All that needs to go. I want to not be too close to that. Prefer if my guys didn't pick those up. And we're going to need... Oh, a bit early. Oh, I didn't actually... I was going to do that, wasn't I? 4 belts. Processors. Tick. Blueprint book. No. Inventory. Export. Right. Good. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are these? I don't have the steel. Steel should be easy to come by. These guys can deal with that. Actually, have we got coverage? Yeah, we do. Where's steel? Steel is here. I need a lot of these. We should set up proper production for it. But that will have to wait for the next episode, or later, depending on if I remember. Anyway, that's as much as we've got time for today. This episode anyway. So thanks for watching. See you next time.